Hey everyone! Anya with you today again, and welcome to my channel. In today's lesson, I'd like to answer another question I have received. And the question was about the word je. You have probably heard this word before, especially in conversation. And this lesson will be very useful for all those of you who want to speak naturally and fluently in Russian. Because je functions as an emphatic particle, which means it is used to express emotions. All right. There is another function for this word. Je could be also a conjunction, but in this lesson we're going to talk only about je as an emphatic particle. So I'm going to give you 4 tips on how to use it. All right, let's get started. Function number 1. All right, you have probably watched my YouTube video on the emphatic particle ведь. So the first function of je will be about the same as the emphatic particle ведь. If you remember, ведь we will say in the case when I want to remind a person that this information is known. You know that, I know that. So I'm just reminding this to you. In the same way, je functions as to remind something to someone. For example, мы же друзья. We are friends, aren't we? Мы же друзья. You know that. I know that. I'm just reminding you. More examples. Ты же знаешь, что нельзя брать эти конфеты. You do know that it's not allowed to take those sweets, do you? So in English, you can see how I translated it. But in Russian, it means literally, you know that, I know that, I'm just reminding you. Now, there is a slight difference between ведь and je, although they are very close synonyms in this case, but I would say that the difference is that ведь is more of a heavy argument. When you remind a person, you bring it as an argument. So it is supported with even more emotions. Here it's just slightly reminding a person of the known fact. Function number 2, emphasizing function. So I'm just gonna give you an example. Okay. So I might ask you in Russian, где же мой телефон? Где же мой телефон? Or, как же это сделать? How shall I do that? All right, so I could have asked, где мой телефон? Fair enough. Где мой телефон? I want to know where my telephone is. But if I'm asking, где же мой телефон? This question I cannot answer myself. I really don't know. I have no idea where my phone is. So, if I'm unable to answer my own question, then I will say, где же она? Where is she? I have no idea where she is. Где же деньги? Where is the money? I have no idea. I cannot answer this question myself. All right? The third function of this particle will be very helpful to show that this object I'm talking about right now coincides with the object previously mentioned. I know this sounds complicated, but let me just give you an example. Okay, you will see it in context better. So for example, I have the computer, he has the computer. And now see that my computer is the same just like his, then I will say, у меня такой же компьютер, как у него. Okay, I'm identifying my computer with his. Такой же. So this particle же will be used after, a lot of times it will be used after pronouns such as тот же. For example, я хожу в тот же театр. To that same theater I go to. Or такие же. Я люблю такие же спектакли, как и ты. All right? Good. Yes, and you should probably, after this explanation, you should probably go to this video of mine. That will help you to practice this concept. So this is another type of a construction that should be practiced separately. And there I'll give you a lot of examples, how to use it in context. You will see more examples. So I really refer you to that video. Good. All right, function number 4. Je will help us to show actions that happen right now really fast. For example, он сразу же просит прощения. He asks forgiveness right away. Сразу means at once, but then this particle же helps me to even emphasize it even more, to show how short the period is. Сразу же. Another example. Let's say, на первом же уроке мы начали изучать грамматику. In English, you will say, right at the first lesson, we started learning grammar. На первом же уроке. So again, I'm showing the shortness, how short this period of time, which is probably not expected to learn grammar at the first lesson. It's not expected. But right at the first lesson, на первом же уроке. So I'm emphasizing that this is not expected really. That's way too short of a time. And I'm going to give you another function of this particle, which is not very common, but you can still use it in your speech. It will be useful. All right, I'll give you an example and then explain it to you. Let's say Victor is working, but Dmitry is resting, which is not good. He should be working too. So I will say, Виктор работает, Дмитрий же отдыхает. Can you imagine how can he rest when Victor is working, right? So that's when I will use this particle же. It's not expected of him to rest right now. Дмитрий же отдыхает. Another example. Let's say my sister learned English very fast. Let's say in a year. But I have been learning English for years, let's say 10 years, and I still speak not very well. So in Russian, I will say, моя сестра изучала английский 1 год. And now I'm switching attention at me. Я же изучаю английский уже 10 лет. И все еще плохо говорю по-английски. So can you feel that? Can you feel how I'm talking about her? But now I'm switching attention at me and comparing her with me. And something that I describe about myself is not sufficient. It's not enough, okay, comparing to her. Она изучала английский год, я же изучаю уже 10 лет. Good, here we go. I hope it was helpful. And ask more questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Bye-bye, пока-пока.